Hey everybody, thanks for joining me for another video update. I've got some exciting things to update you about today. Thanks again for joining me. The first, just a couple announcements about things going on around town. Just a reminder, again, that the Main Street South Orange Farmers Market is every Wednesday from 1 to 8 p.m. and that's down in the parking lot off of Sloan Street. Also, the final container day will be Saturday, September 29th from 8 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Down at DPW. Make sure to bring two forms or two proofs of residency. They're not accepting propane tanks, hazardous materials, construction materials, or anything commercial. That's just for residential residents. And if you have any questions about any of that, you want to know if they accept something or not, you can call them at 973-378-7741. Also, the fall art classes are starting at the Baird, and you can visit thebaird.org to learn a little bit more about those and see what's going on. Also, it's a charity golf tournament benefiting the South Orange Rescue Squad. The golf tournament is Monday, October 15th at Maplewood Country Club. The registration is $175 per golfer or $650 per foursome team, and all the proceeds of that are going to benefit the rescue squad. You can also get T-shirts, raffle tickets, or just make a donation. The Rescue Squad, an all-volunteer, donation-funded organization that does an amazing job of providing emergency medical services to South Orange, all for about $80,000 a year, which is really incredible. But they do rely on donations from people to keep that going. They put in almost 18,000 volunteer hours last year to provide EMS for South Orange. So obviously, I'm a volunteer over there. I think it's a great organization, and if you can, certainly appreciate your support. You can find out more about the golf tournament at so-cpsc.org or visit the Rescue Squad's website at southorangerescuesquad.org. Also, Newcomers Day or All-Comers Day is this Sunday the 23rd from 2 to 4 p.m. at the South Orange Public Library. You can learn about services that the village offers, meet people that also have just moved into town. It should be a fun event. In our meeting, on our last meeting, Theodore Stevens, the Essex County Surrogate, came into our meeting to talk about the services that his office offers and their extended office hours at the County Administration Building in Newark. If you want to learn a little bit more about that, I'm going to put the flyer up on the screen here. You can also call them at 973-621-4900 or go to njsurrogates.com. One of the things from our last meeting that I'm particularly excited about was the reestablishment of the Public Information and Marketing Committee. That's a committee that had been around in different sort of iterations in South Orange for a couple years. It hasn't existed or met in at least since I've been here, so at least a year and a half, 2 years maybe. And it's a great opportunity now that it's reestablished for residents to get involved in communications, branding, and marketing activities that the village is engaging in. We really want residents to be involved with that, and there are a couple spots available for South Orange residents. There are also liaisons to SOPAC, Seton Hall, the school district, the improvement district, and commercial property owners downtown. So it's a really good organization. I've got a couple projects that I'm really excited for this group to get to work on. So if you're interested in being part of that, we've got a lot of applications already, but if you'd like to, and especially if you have any experience in marketing, or just want to help out, visit southorange.org and go to the volunteering link on the left side of the page. And if you have questions about that, you can contact me at torpey@southorange.org. In our last meeting, we also passed on second reading the final financial agreement for the Avenue Apartments on Vos Ave. And on first reading, we passed, and it will be on second reading this coming Monday, a bond ordinance for capital improvements. With basically our capital budget here in South Orange, and that will allow us to then get to work on all the paving and infrastructure improvement projects that we really need to get moving on. We also talked a little bit about our meetings and how we're going to organize and formalize the way some of our meeting processes happen. There was some interest from some of the trustees, even from some residents who've been watching the meetings, and I know for myself about making the meetings more efficient, a little more formal, making sure we're organized better. That'll help us move through items faster, but all clear for members of the public that are watching, so they know exactly what we're deciding, what's happening. And so we're going to start to follow Robert's Rules of Order a little bit closer. I drafted up a memo for the board in our last meeting, which people have had time to review, and we'll be starting some of those procedures in our meeting this Monday on the 24th. I also talked a little bit about an event in an organization called Building One New Jersey that is advocating for sustainable development policies, affordable housing reform, education funding reform, and having a lot of discussions really at the 30,000 feet level of how New Jersey is growing and how suburbs, especially old suburbs like South Orange, Maplewood, Montclair, are going to be growing at a higher rate as real population centers in the state near public transit, and advocating for policies at the state and the federal level that will help communities like ours. They are having a statewide meeting on September 30th, and it's a really great chance. If there's anyone watching who's interested in attending, contact me and let me know. It's a great chance to meet other people who are interested in those planning and development issues. Also reported that I had talked with our Citizens Budget Advisory Committee about budget transparency and what ideas they have and what ideas they think the South Orange community would like to see as far as making our budget even more transparent. South Orange has a long history of putting budget information online. Last year we took another step forward by putting a downloadable Excel spreadsheet of our budget online. And next year I hope to take another step forward, putting that information into a more visual format and a more participatory format that would allow people to comment on budget items, to submit their own ideas, and to also just provide more information in an educational way about our budget, about the decisions that the board makes and that we have to make as far as what stays, what gets cut, and our financial priorities. It's really important for people to understand and have access to understand all of those numbers, so that we're not just making budget decisions kind of in a vacuum, but that the most number of people possible know what we're doing. Also had some meetings with Seton Hall University. We talked about development in town, and we talked about public safety. We talked about our public transit systems. It's a good conversation, and a lot of ideas came up and that we're going to follow up on, and really with the goal of trying to bring our two communities even closer together. We've done a lot so far, but there's definitely more we can do, and I'm really looking forward to that. Our village administrator reported just a quick update on the renovation of Village Hall, and actually in our meeting on the 24th, on Monday, our engineer and our architect and construction manager will give a much more thorough update about the progress that we've been making and the timeline and some other information about the renovation of this building. We also had a quick report about the Improvement District, which has been meeting pretty much every week at this point with all the business owners in town. Our trustee liaison and our administrator are there, and they're soon going to be launching a totally new branding and marketing kind of experience for the downtown. In fact, just this past weekend, we went around town and saw 6 businesses open with ribbon cuttings, and there are about a half a dozen more that have opened recently. So South Orange downtown is definitely is growing. We've got more businesses opening. We've had a few that have closed, but really excited to have all the business owners now really an integral part of improving that and making all of that happen. We talked a little bit about the agenda process and a recommendation coming from the Legal and Personnel Committee that basically puts on a schedule all the different dates and times when agenda items need to be in, when the draft agenda goes out, and when a packet goes out to the public. Part of the reason why there's been some confusion is people missing deadlines, submitting items, and this will help us get all of us on the same page, make sure we all understand the process, and I think that will make the process a lot more efficient and understandable for everybody. The trustees also asked for me to reach out to the Board of Education and asked to see if they could come into our board meetings maybe twice a year to give an update about what they're working on, make sure that we have that connection and that our residents who are watching our meetings do get those quick updates. We talked a little bit about the zoning exemption bill that would apply to private colleges and universities, a bill that we've expressed our opposition to for a number of reasons. I've been involved with advocating to our state legislators to oppose this bill, as it would really sever the relationship in many ways between private colleges and universities and local municipal land use laws and the governing bodies that do regulate those. It basically seems as though there have been local problems in other places, in other towns, with their planning boards and their universities, and the statewide fix, throws South Orange, towns where, we have a good relationship with the university, it kind of puts us in the mix where, where the problems were coming from somewhere else, but now the solutions are applicable to us. So we're trying to figure out a way where we can mitigate that, but still improve the processes overall. Those are some of the big things that have been happening. We're still talking about the development on 3rd and Valley Street. We're making progress there. There are a couple more pieces that we have to figure out, but we do have the conditional redeveloper agreement done. We are working with Jonathan Rose Companies to move that forward. We have a number of issues that we need to work out, the location of the rescue squad, where the commuter parking will be, and things like that for the duration of the project. But we're really excited about that, and we're really excited for our other development project, which is South Orange Commons, formerly known as the Bifus site, which we have one last piece of a financial agreement to agree to, and then we can start to really move forward with that project as well. So there's a lot of exciting things happening. A little sad the summer is over. It went by too fast. But excited about the fall, excited about all the things that are happening here. And again, this is just a quick update. There's a lot more happening. If you have any questions about any of this or want to know more, please feel free to drop me an email at atorpey@southorange.org or come by my office hours on a Tuesday afternoon. We're happy to try and provide more information and answer any questions that you have. Thanks again, and definitely tune into our board meeting Monday night, the 24th, if you so choose, and I'll make sure to do another video update after that meeting to give you more of a summary about what's happening. Thanks again, and I'll talk to you soon.